Board of Guardians for Sarawak Sovereign Wealth Fund to be formed, and school term to start in January from 2026. And LIMA 2023 opens with air show by over 70 aircraft. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Shal Shamato, and this is TVS Nightline. The Sarawak State Government will form a board of guardians comprising 8 finance and investment experts and professionals to provide professional management for the Sarawak Sovereign Wealth Fund. Premier Sarawak Dr. Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng said the state government is looking for guardians who can act both professionally and transparently to make sure that the fund is well protected.
We have to check the personality and the integrity and background of our professionals to be in the board. It's not only Sarawakian, not only Malaysian. It is multinational, and then people who have the experience in investment in the capital market, as well as how to multiply your seed capital.
Commenting further, Abang Johari said that the establishment of the Sovereign Wealth Fund needed to comply with the Santiago Principles in order to help maintain a stable global financial system and free flow of capital and investment. In terms of managing the fund, the state government would ensure that the returns will be well calibrated by maximizing the fund. Sarawak is setting up a Sovereign Wealth Fund with an initial amount of 8 billion ringgit to strengthen the state's financial sustainability. On November 22nd last year, the Sarawak Legislative Assembly unanimously passed the Sovereign Wealth Future Fund Board Bill 2022.
The start of the academic calendar will revert to January beginning 2026. Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq said this comes following the proposal to restore the school academic calendar to start in January, just like previously. Additionally, the Ministry of Education MOE also intends to bring forward the start of the academic calendar for the 2024/2025 session to February 2025.
KPM telah meneliti cadangan untuk mengembalikan semula kalender akademik persekolahan bermula pada Januari seperti sebelum ini. KPM berharap dengan pengumuman ini, aspek kewangan dan ekonomi dapat dirancang mulai sekarang oleh semua pihak yang terlibat. Secara tidak langsung, perancangan cuti keluarga, kenduri kendara, cuti-cuti cikgu sebagaimana yang telah pun kami umumkan dalam 10 prakarsa sempena Hari Guru dapat diatur berdasarkan kalender akademik persekolahan yang akan diwartakan.
She said this in response to a question posed by Sri Gading Assemblyman Amin Nohulda Hassan on when will the academic calendar for schools to start in January again. Elaborating further, Fadlina told the Parliament that in determining the academic calendar year for schools, it had to ensure that the teaching and learning process could be carried out optimally and meet the required number of 190 school days in a year. According to her, any changes to the school academic calendar needs to take into account local economic factors, the flood season, to ensure that it does not interfere with public examination schedules. More than 70 aircraft belonging to the Malaysian Armed Forces ATM roared in the sky today to symbolize the opening of the 2023 Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition 2023. Themed the nexus of Asia's maritime and aerospace trade, the event today was preceded by an air show on the tarmac in front of the Masuri International Exhibition Centre, MIEC.
The opening gambit began with a show of the FA-18D Hornet fighter aircraft with the roaring sound of its engine shaking the tarmac. Another show that attracted the public's attention was a rescue demonstration using MD-530G and EC-725AB helicopters involving 10 members of a special team. The show ended with a diamond formation by Su-30 MKM, FA-18D and Hawk aircraft and an explosion on the tarmac. Prior to this, ATM had confirmed that 5 countries will participate in the aerobatic show, namely Indonesia, China, South Korea, the United Arab Emirates, and Russia. Among those present were Defense Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Hassan, Transport Minister Anthony Loke, Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, Kedah Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Muhammad Sanusi Muhammad Noor, and several dignitaries and members of the foreign delegations. LIMA 23 starts today until May 27. This edition of the exhibition involves 2 ministries, the Ministry of Defense, Defense Sector, and the Ministry of Transport, Commercial Sector. The biannual exhibition was last held in 2019 and in 2021. It was postponed following the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Housing Development Corporation, or HDC, has unveiled its plan to construct 1,298 units of affordable housing in Sarawak over the next 2 years, with a total investment of 192.08 million ringgit. Deputy Premier and Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, Sarawak, Datuk Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian, emphasised the significance of the project as it reflects the Sarawak government's commitment to addressing the housing needs of its citizens.
In addition, HDC plans to implement 1,298 units of affordable housing in Sarawak for the next 2 years, costing 192.08 million ringgit.
Building upon the successful completion of 862 units of affordable housing and Rumah Spectra Permata RSP under the 12th Malaysia Plan, the HDC's upcoming project aims to address the region's housing challenges.
Under RMK 12, 862 units of affordable housing and Rumah Spectra Permata RSP undertaken by Housing Development Corporation HDC have been completed, consisting of 504 units of Darul Hana 1A and 2A, 122 units of RSP Bunga Rampai, 110 units RSP Kemuyang, 26 units RSP SPK Lundu, 25 units RSP SPK Sematang, 10 units RSP SPK Lingga, 22 units RSP Ingang, 20 units RSP SPK Tiang, 3 units in Kampong Datuk Baru, and 20 units RSP SPK Majeling.
Dr. Sim said this during his winding-up ministerial speech at the State Assembly earlier today. He further said that a total of 5 12 MP projects are currently ongoing, which involve the construction of 468 units of affordable housing in Kuching, Miri, Betong, and Limbang. At the same time, PPR Siduan is the only ongoing federal-funded project, which comprises of 461 single-story terrace houses and is scheduled to be completed in August 2023.
The state government is actively tackling flooding issues and enhancing urban drainage systems through a budget allocation of 17.868 million ringgit for 2023. Deputy Premier and Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, Datuk Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian, stated that these funds will be utilised to implement a series of urban drainage and flood mitigation projects, which aims to protect communities from the devastating impact of floods.
In our effort to alleviate flooding problems, Sarawak government has allocated 17.868 million in 2023 for the implementation of numerous urban drainage and flood mitigation projects. Urban drainage. There are 3 urban drainage improvement projects and 1 hydrographic survey works. The drainage improvement works at Kampong Jeria Sibu Phase 2 was completed in August 2022. 2 other approved drainage improvement works, which are in Kubong, Limbang, and Taman Desa Imu, Kota Samran, are currently in the design stage and planning stage, respectively. Flood mitigation. There are 5 flood mitigation projects, namely Rancangan Tebatang Banjiu, RTB, Sibu Phase 4, RTB Bintulu Phase 2, RTB Miri Phase 2, RTB Sungai Semarin, as well as drainage improvement works at Jalan Dato' Amakaloningkan and Jalan Datuk Tawi Sri, all of which are under detailed designs.
Dr. Sim also added that the urban drainage improvement projects comprise 3 ongoing drainage improvement initiatives and 1 hydrographic survey. He further elaborated that 2 other approved projects focusing on drainage improvement at Kubong in Limbang and Taman Desa Ilmu in Kota Semarahan are currently in the design and planning stages, respectively. Highlighting the flood mitigation initiatives, Dr. Sim emphasized the government's commitment to effectively combat flooding in the region. Dr. Sim said this during his ministerial winding-up speech at the State Legislative Assembly on Tuesday. Additionally, the government has allocated 75.96 million ringgit for the implementation of 456 rural transformation projects in 2023, as the RTP aims to promote holistic development across various divisions and improve the quality of life in rural areas.
Like a page out of a storybook, a former homeless woman in Cebu turned into a successful entrepreneur, generating income through the sale of her hand-woven products. Ani Mael, 56-year-old, is a testament to the success story resulting from the establishment of homeless transit centres under the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Wellbeing Development. Its Minister, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah, revealed that Ani was once a resident of the transit centre, where she picked up the skills and knowledge in the art of weaving.
Beliau telah dilantik menjadi tenaga pengajar anyaman kepada rakan-rakan penghuni TTG. Hasil kraftangan beliau dan rakan-rakan telah dipasarkan di 12 stesen minyak Petroleum Nasional Berhad Petronas sekitar Cebu.
In addition to providing income-generating opportunities, the residents of TTG Cebu are also taught essential literacy and numeracy skills in collaboration with the Sarawak State Library Pustaka, which runs the Adult Literacy Program in conjunction with the Methodist Pillay Institute and Laila Taib College. TTG Cebu has been in full operation since February last year. Since its establishment, a total of 87 homeless individuals have benefited from TTG Cebu's services. Among them, 9 are currently employed, 3 have been placed in Rumah Seri Kenanga Cebu and Kuching, 15 are undergoing skills training, and 12 have been reunited with their families, while the remaining individuals have voluntarily left the centre. Fatima also shared that the TTG in Miri, located behind the old Miri District Office, is undergoing upgrades by the Miri City Council MCC and is expected to be completed by December of this year. Meanwhile, the TTG in Bintulu, situated next to the Sungai Sibiu Bridge, is currently under construction by the Bintulu Development Authority, BDA, and is slated for completion by May 2025. The state government has given its approval for the establishment of community learning centres, or CLC, dedicated to children of Indonesian plantation workers. Minister of Women, Early Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah, said that currently there are 16 registered CLCs benefiting a total of 890 children.
Consistent with our emphasis on basic rights of a child to education, irrespective of their nationality, our government has agreed to the establishment of community learning centres, or CLC, for children of Indonesian plantation workers. To date, there are 16 registered CLCs with 890 children.
She said this during her ministerial winding-up speech at the State Legislative Assembly Dune session held on Tuesday. Additionally, Fatima highlighted that her ministry is actively raising awareness and advocating for issues relating to identification documents and temporary identification documents, involving a series of 115 outreach programs, including Randau Pembangunan Sosial, Randau Solidarity Community, and Randau Kesejahteraan Community.
Sehubungan itu, Kerajaan Sarawak mengambil inisiatif untuk mengeluarkan dokumen sementara individu tanpa kewarganegaraan di Sarawak atau D6, khusus untuk membolehkan kanak-kanak mendapat akses kepada perkhidmatan pendidikan dan kesihatan.
As of April this year, a total of 594 applications for identification documents and temporary identification documents have been received, and the Premier's department has approved 86 applications from the initial group. Over 91,000 children now have access to the Endowment Fund Sarawak EFS. According to Minister of Women, Family and Community Development Sarawak, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, since its inception in 2019, the EFS has received a substantial allocation of 91.16 million ringgit from the government, reflecting its commitment to supporting the education and welfare of children.
A recent survey by Ringgit Plus revealed that 70% of Malaysians saved less than 500 ringgit monthly in 2022, or did not save at all, including for the education of the children. This makes the Endowment Fund Sarawak EFS, introduced by the Sarawak government in 2019, even more significant.
She said this in her ministry's winding-up speech at the State Legislative Assembly June sitting on Tuesday. Furthermore, Fatimah also informed that as of April 2023, a total of 2,285 applications for the Kenyalang Gold Card KGC have been received. Meanwhile, over 1,954 other applications have been made online. The Sarawak Museum Department is continuously pursuing national and international collaborations with other museums and institutions. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said this year the department was invited to 2 international exhibits which are based in the United States and United Kingdom. According to Karim, the artifacts will be on display at the Museum of Science and History in Memphis, Tennessee from May 1st to 31st.
The first one is in the United States, which is called Memphis May International Festival, currently held in Memphis, USA. This is a month-long festival held in Memphis, Tennessee, USA. This year, the festival selected Malaysia as the honored country. And for this event, the department, that is museum, was invited by Modtech Malaysia to loan 24 of the artifacts that we have in the museum for the exhibition, which showcases the beauty of Sarawak's cultural heritage to the world.
While the second international exhibition was the London Crafts Week, which was held earlier this month from May 4th to 14th.
The department contributed in preparing the content for the exhibition and loaned a masterpiece artifacts from Sarawak for the exhibition. This was a beaded baby carrier, which is more than 100 years old, I was made to inform, which is designed with a full human figure made for the high-class aristocrat of the Kenyah community.
Abdul Karim said this in his winding-up speech at the State Assembly today. He said there will be more wide-ranging collaborations will be established in 2023 through strategic partnerships with the Natural History Museum in London and Lee Kong Chian Natural History Museum in Singapore, to which the outcome will be a memorandum of understanding with these established institutions. In addition, the department also assists other agencies in various UNESCO nominations, such as the Nia National Park as a World Heritage Site and the Sarawak Delta Geopark project. Bintulu Ports Holdings BPHB has shown exemplary efforts to develop world-class ports in the state, to which it was lauded by the Chief Executive Officer of BPHB Group, Ruslan Abdul Ghani, during a courtesy visit to the head of state, Tun Pahin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud, on Tuesday. According to Ruslan, the visit served to extend gratitude to Tun Taib for his vision to develop Samalaju Port more than 10 years ago.
He also added that the group takes pride in being part of a crucial aspect of Sarawak's development and contributing to its economy. Also present at the courtesy visit were Chief Operation Officer Mat Saleh Muhammad Etli, Senior Manager of Corporate Services Masliha Teo, and BPHB Group Public Affairs and Corporate Services Executive Bibi Hamza Zaidil.
Coming up right after the break, Communications Ministry mulls setting up anti-scalping law, and school dorm fire kills 19 in Guyana. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back, and now on to the next update. The Ministry of Communications and Digital is considering for a law against ticket scalpers to be formulated. Its Minister Fahmi Fadzil said the ministry would further discuss the matter with the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, KPDN. Fahmi said this followed complaints of the difficulty in purchasing concert tickets of an international band coming to Malaysia due to scalpers buying in bulk. Meanwhile, Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, Dato Sri Salahuddin said a study on the formulation of a law on scalping is timely with the development of various industries currently. Additionally, Salahuddin said the ministry had received 28 complaints about the matter, and that his ministry and the Ministry of Communications and Digital are identifying the parties involved. The short-term rates are expected to remain stable today on Bank Negara Malaysia's operations to absorb surplus liquidity from the financial system, with the liquidity estimated at 49.26 billion ringgit in the conventional system and 25.14 billion ringgit in Islamic funds.
At the same time, the central bank will conduct a 1 billion ringgit conventional money market tender for 7 days, in addition to calling for 2 card tenders comprising 800 million ringgit for 7 days and 500 million ringgit for 14 days. The central bank also announced the availability of a reverse repo, sale and buyback agreements and collateralized commodity murabaha facilities for tenors of 1 to 3 months. As of 4 p.m. today, Bank Negara Malaysia has conducted up to 47.3 billion ringgit conventional overnight tender and 22.8 billion ringgit for murabaha overnight tender.
And now on to our world affairs. At least 19 children perished after a fire gutted a secondary school dormitory in Guyana. According to authorities, the building was completely engulfed in flames by the time firefighters arrived around midnight on Sunday.
This is a day that will live in infamy for us, because these children did not deserve to die like this. And but it's a day for mourning for all of us, for this country. Every man, woman, and child, and certainly every parent their heart will go to the parents of those children. And I know today the president is going to visit those parents, meet with the people, see what is it that we could do, and to understand what really happened here.
14 children died at the scene and another 5 in the hospital. 6 others, including 2 critical condition, were airlifted to the capital, Georgetown, while others remained under local hospital care. Some 20 students were rescued. Most of the 19 students who died were indigenous, said Mark Ramota, the director of the Police Communications Department. A moving truck had struck the security walls of Lafayette Square adjacent to the White House. According to a spokesperson of the United States Secret Service, Anthony Guglielmi, no injuries were reported and the driver has been taken to custody.
A local television network reported that fortunately, the truck was not carrying any items that could have been damaged in the crash, except for a doll. Eyewitnesses also testified that the truck stopped alongside a row of steel bollards. The Secret Service said roads and pedestrian walkways nearby Lafayette Square have been temporarily closed. The identity of the driver have not been disclosed yet, and preliminary investigation of the case indicate that the driver may have intentionally struck the security barriers. The driver's motive is yet to be identified.
And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. And just another reminder, Unity Week has started and we'll be broadcasting our news bulletins live on location from the Kuching waterfront. So again, head on to our booth and you'll get a chance to meet TVS personalities and you can see if you got what it takes to be a news anchor or TV host. So mark May 20th to 26th on your calendars and we'll see you there. I'm Shal Shameto. Thank you for watching.